The founder of Bridgewater, Ray Dalio, it's a big hedge fund. He came out last week and said the U.S. appears to be, I'm quoting, on a classic path towards some form of civil war amid the dangerous combination of large deficits, high taxes, inflation, and gaps in wealth and values that lead to political polarization. When that happens, at the same time as there are foreign powers that are becoming strong enough to challenge the leading world power that it is encountering, this civil war dynamic, it is especially a risky period. That period, I believe, we are now in, end quote. Gosh, it sounds almost like we'll be at each other's throats, and the socialists and the communists and the Islamists will all be in league. By the way, speaking of Islamists, I think another hats off to Joe Biden, who released another $25 billion to the Iranians over the weekend. I think that's great. He just unfroze $25 billion.
Because we were saying, we thought $30 billion was too much. And $25 billion is right in the sweet spot.
It is. It is. Because I thought $20 billion was too little.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
30 too much. So
when he nails it, we got to give him credit. $25 billion was the right number to give to Iran.
Yeah, it was. Over the weekend. You're not going to find that anywhere. Isn't that weird? You're not seeing that on the front page anywhere. Anyway, and then that guy, whoever he was, thank God they discredited him a long time ago, said that that'll be creating turmoil here in the United States. And then what happens? Oh, foreign powers, all of our enemies, look at our weakness and say, now, go, 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 go. It's almost like Ray Dalio is saying that. Ha! So here's the thing. He's right. He follows it up. The biggest question is how much the system will bend before it breaks. History shows the biggest risk to democracies is that they produce such fragmented and antagonistic decision-making that they are ineffective and disorderly, which leads to bad results in revolutions. No, Ray, that's world history. That is the history of democracies. We're a republic. What has led to antagonistic decision-making and fragmentation? I'll tell you what it is. And you know who also will tell you who it is? John Adams and Thomas Jefferson around 1820 writing back and forth to each other saying, well, we tried. It's going to fail. The other one said, yeah, but it's inevitable. Yes, it's going to fail. But in the end, the people will see what we were trying to do. I know, but we should have put more Deuteronomy into it. What did he mean by that? He was talking about stakes. What is the problem? Why do we have all of these crazy people in Washington, D.C.? Let me rephrase the question. Stu, they're redistricting right now. Mm-hmm. And when they redistrict, do they do it like in Deuteronomy where Moses just said there's a block of 500 people, and then when that block goes over 500, then we just split it?
No, they do not do that.
No, in squares. So everything's a giant square. No, how do they do redistricting? It's called something, Jerry Lewis. No, gerrymandering. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know how your district snakes through? It's because the parties are like, I need it to snake through this way because then I can lean it Democrat or Republican. Stop it, because that's what gets extremes. We all live next door to somebody that disagrees with us. We might live with a whole group of people that I don't know where this is, but on one side of the street, they're all Democrats, and the other side of the street, they're all Republicans. And at the end of the street, because it's a cul-de-sac, it's all independents. And so one party or the other says, I'm going to just take this part of the street, and you're going to have that part of the street. No. We get extremes because of that. Ay, 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 ay. That's not democracy. That's gerrymandering. That's hijacking a republic, Ray. That's what it is. He also said there's a loss of truth in the public domain. No. No, a lawsuit. And that's making some people too afraid to speak up. No, I've not heard that. Now, gee, who's doing that? Because I remember when Tipper Gore was coming out, about rap songs that she thought were too spicy. That was a Democrat, but was trying to appeal to the religious, movement at the time. And that was saying, we got to take all this crap off the streets. No, just tell your kids not to listen to it. How about we spend more time with our kids? How about that? We don't silence people. So it was the religious side that was doing it back then. Which side is it now, Stu? Because I know there was a big outcry of people who were like trying to silence, rappers and stuff because they were saying bad sexual things. That's not happening anymore. Oh, it's just political things that have to be. Oh, and that's the left this time. Isn't that weird? Wrong then from the right. Wrong now from the left.
Was Tipper Gore the right?
No, Tipper Gore was.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand.
The Gores don't believe anything. They don't believe anything. That was just purely a political move, period. So we're headed for civil war unless there's a great awakening. And I don't mean a great awakening. Don't be woke. Be awake. Stay awake. Stay awake. And what that means is, you see the direction everybody's headed? There's a cliff. Hear the people? Listen carefully. It's a little like the Coyote and Roadrunner. You're just seeing a whole bunch, thousands of little poof, 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 as people make impact on the bottom of the cliff. Don't go over the cliff. What does that mean? Don't say the things that you don't mean. Don't tolerate the things that you know are wrong. Just get up and leave. You know what? Nothing against anybody here, but you guys are talking a bunch of gobbledygook, and it's not true. None of this is true. How dare you say a man can't have a baby? I suppose you could implant it and then, I don't know, take it out and say he had a baby, but that's not having a baby, man. Okay? How dare you say that? Yeah. I think we have to agree on some basic level of truth because this ain't working.
Part of some of your old advice was ringing through my head this weekend when I was looking at some of the stories about the Canadian truckers. And there's been this attack from the media. We saw one Nazi flag at one rally. And, that's sort of the typical way they go. What they're saying now, and I obviously am not up in Canada. I haven't seen this for myself. But the media is reporting that the truckers now are doing things like, blocking streets and beeping their horns in the overnights in neighborhoods to wake people up, and tactics.
If that's true, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't believe that's true.
Right. Because you don't want to lose the people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This has always been something we've talked about this with left-wing groups over and over again. They'll block traffic. They'll make your life miserable. I remember Pat always talks about this protest in Houston when he was down there where the trash collectors unions dumped a bunch of trash in the middle of busy intersections to show how important they were and just pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
Right? Like ruining people's lives usually doesn't bring them to your side.
Well, no, but see, that's the tactic of the left now. Bringing them, they used to, because of Martin Luther King, they used to bring people along. Okay, yeah, I believe in that. But now what they're asking for is against human nature. It's against human nature. So now you just have to do it by force. First, it's nudge, way past that. Then it's shove. We're at the end of that. And the next one is shoot. You're going to do it or else. And I would say that they're kind of doing that, except it's with firings now. You're just out. You're going to lose your job. The next level is I'm going to physically take a gun and shoot you.
Or put you in prison. Or
put you in prison. Put you in prison or a little camp. And what happens in camps? Usually you're not making bracelets. That's where we are, gang. You know what rang through my head was the first they came. Who was it? It wasn't the first they came for the Jews. No. First they came for the communists. Because remember, they're fascists. First they came for the communists. And I didn't say anything because I wasn't a communist. I want you to know, it started with politics. First they came for the conservatives. And I wasn't a conservative, so I didn't say anything. We are at the point with Joe Rogan. If they take Joe Rogan down, our voice will be silenced. It will be silenced. Joe Rogan is a message. It's not just about taking out Joe Rogan. It is a message to anyone who carries shows like ours on any platform. You'll be gone. By the way, you should know glennbeck.com, theblaze.com, and blazetv.com. Those are your URLs. You can get our shows from those URLs every single day. Right now, you're getting it from Apple or wherever you get your podcast. There's going to come a time where you don't have that luxury anymore. You will have to I saw somebody, and they're going to track who's doing it. They already are. In their own words, you're the infected. We are the carrier of the disease. This is how they explain it. We are the carrier of the disease, of thought that they don't like. We've infected you. So we're not only being monitored by big tech, but you are being monitored, and you can't hide it. You're being monitored, and those that follow you or your friends are also being monitored to see how far the infection spreads. If you think that's hyperbole, look the quote up. That's from big tech. That's how they view you. This is the critical moment. And I will tell you that the left wants violence. I can guarantee you, if the Republicans sweep and they take control of the House and the Senate, there will be violence on the streets. There will be the media saying this was a stolen election. They'll find it all credible this time. There will be people whipping people up. God forbid the Democrats, and I mean Democrats, not left, that the Democrats are awake enough to go, that ain't us. That's this small little group doing this. But they want violence, make no mistake, because that's what they do. They want to shoot and stop shoving. They want to shoot. No violence. Love one another. Truckers, if that story is true, and I don't think it is, if that story is true, no horn honking at night. Don't do it. Don't do it. You need people on your side.